This video is sponsored by failure because I have yet to complete a magical readathon. Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and today I am bringing you my August wrap-up. Now, I'm gonna go real quick on this because I only have like 23 minutes of recording time on my camera, so we are going to just dive right in. In August, I read 8 books, and the age breakdown for that was 1 middle grade, 6 YA, and 1 adult book. I read 5 audiobooks and 3 physical books. Genre breakdown was 3 fantasy, 1 contemporary, and 4 sci-fi. I read 2 5-star books and 6 4-star books. So relatively good reading month all around. The first audiobook that I finished was Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This still has a sticker on it. You know what? We're just gonna make our peace with that, and eventually it will come off. I gave it 4 stars. This is about Karou, and in the first book we find Karou. She is living in the human world, but she also has a connection to this else world. There's a portal, and then one day the portals disappear, and she has to go figure out what happened if she's going to find the people who raised her. This is a beautiful, angsty, star-crossed romance that I am really enjoying. This book did frustrate me because Karou is blaming herself for things that, like, if she just told people the truth, they would stop blaming her. They were using her as a scapegoat, and I just was not cool with it. But at the same time, ooh, the romance is just so angsty. Also, that twist, like not the final twist, but there's a twist like right before the ending that just blew my mind. I was like, it gave me everything I wanted at the same time as it made me really anxious, but then it ended up giving me everything I wanted, and I was so happy with it. It was great. The next 2 books I read I'm going to talk about together because they are part of the same series, and they are Scarlet and Cress by Marissa Meyer. I gave Scarlet 4 stars and Cress 5 stars. I am absolutely loving the Lunar Chronicles series. This is a series of sci-fi fairy tale retellings. We start with Cinder. It is basically a retelling of Cinderella, but then Marissa Meyer comes and she weaves in so many other plot lines that, like, they make it more than just about a girl trying to go to a ball. If you want to go to a ball and get yourself a prince, like, more power to you. You are in a better place in your life than I am. But also, like, I like the fact that she makes it about so much more. I also really like how the different plots in each book are so well connected. Like, every book we meet a new pair of characters who are representing a new fairy tale, and all of their stories end up coming together in such a wonderful and satisfying way. It's got such beautiful development between the characters, and I really like how, like, no one character really truly takes over the plot. Like, they are all involved in what is going on. They all get their kind of moments to shine. Also, this series has so many reunions, and it makes me so happy. I love it, especially in this book and the final book, Winter. I'm just like, like, people will get separated and drama will happen, and then I'll be like, yes, they get to meet each other up again. Oh, it's so good. I just love it. The next audiobook that I want to talk about is Sanctuary by Karen Licks. I was not expecting to like this book as much as I did. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I, like, just picked it up because I got it in LitJoy Crate. I hadn't heard anything about it, and I was like, I need to finally get to this, and it happens to fit one of the prompts for the newts. We're just ignoring that the newts happened last month because I didn't. So I'm just gonna pretend like they didn't happen. It's about Kinsey, and she is a junior guard at this, like, or this space prison where they keep superpowered teens. She ends up getting kidnapped by the prisoners because they're trying to stage a prison break. Her assumptions about what is going on this station are challenged in this particular book. It has such, it's got a really cute little romance. It's well developed, does not happen too fast. I mean, some people might say it's a little insta-lovey because there's a short time frame, but at the same time, these people are going through heck together, and so that bonds people and makes things happen, okay? This was so wonderfully paced. I was never bored. I was always asking questions as I was reading this, and it ends up being so much more than just a simple prison break. I am really looking forward to the sequel of this series. I'm excited. The final book that I picked up, I just finished today, and that is The 100 by Cass Morgan. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with the TV show. Obsessed with the TV show and the main couple, and at the moment the main couple is not in a place that I like in the TV show, so I decided I was going to pick the books up once again and reread them so I could read the final book that just came out, like, this year, last year, I'm not entirely sure. So I really enjoyed it. This is about Clark Griffin and Bellamy Blake. Everyone else is irrelevant. It is a post-apocalyptic story. Humanity has retreated into space because Earth was no longer habitable. They were like, well, we're gonna die, so bye, and they went up. They've been living on the space station for centuries. Resources are scarce, and so in an effort to figure out if the ground is survivable again, they end up sending 100 delinquents down to the Earth to see if anyone can live there at all. Clark and Bellamy are both a part of this group that are sent. Clark is there because she was in confinement with the rest of these delinquents. Bellamy is there because his sister is one of the delinquents, and he wants to, like, go keep her safe. It's so good, and the romance in this series, we could have so much on the show. Oh, I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really appreciate how she pasted that cliffhanger ending at the end though. Like, have the next book handy, guys. Now that we have covered the audiobooks, it is time to go on to the physical books. Like I said, I read 3 physical books. The first one was Resenting the Hero by Maura J. Moore. I gave this 4 stars. It's a fantasy set in this world where humans have colonized this other planet. Unfortunately, this other planet is really prone to natural disasters, and humanity had to adapt and develop. One of the ways that humanity kind of evolved for this planet is they ended up developing 2 separate systems of magic. Sources are able to use their magic to channel these natural disasters and kind of dissipate them and keep them from becoming catastrophic. Shields are able to use their magic to become a mental protection around a source as they are channeling whatever event is happening, because without a shield, sources just, they die in the effort of taking this natural disaster out. This is about Lee. She's a shield. She ends up being assigned to the one source she did not want to be assigned to. His name is Taro, and he is absolutely hilarious. I love him. He's a little bit of a playboy, and it's fantastic. This is such a witty, fun series. I will say that, like, I did take a star off because Lee is just, like, unnecessarily antagonistic, and she believes the worst in everybody, and like it is a plot point, it's somewhere that's good, but there were just places I was like, girl, why are you being so belligerent? You don't need to be this, like, annoying. The next physical book that I finished was A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. This is a book told in verse. This is about Sean, and his brother has just been killed in what they think is gang violence, and it's about Sean as he is leaving his apartment and going down to get retribution for his brother's death. It is such a powerful and just heart-wrenching story. Like, you really get a look into what Sean's life is like. It talks a lot about gang violence and the cycle of violence in poorer neighborhoods, and that ending is just, it is not my favorite ending I've ever read, but he wrote an ending, like, with a capital E and a trademark at the end of that word. It worked. It did what he wanted it to do. While it is not like the kind of ending that I typically prefer, it still was a very powerful and evocative ending, and I really, really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the way that he structured the plot and how every floor we were meeting someone else from Sean's life. He really leaves a lot for the audience to interpret, which is not my favorite thing to do, but it also really, really works because it gets you thinking about things. It gets you questioning things, so I really appreciated it. The final physical book that I finished in the month of August was The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. This is the final series in the Heroes of Olympus series. The Heroes of Olympus series is about 7 heroes who end up having to go save the world because their parents are Greek gods, and the Greek gods are completely dysfunctional and cannot save their own asses to save their lives. I can't really tell you what this is about, but we've been trying to save the world all summer, and this is it. This is the book where we either save the world or we break it. It's fantastic. I love this series. It is my favorite series of all time, guys. I love this book, this series so much. You need to read it. And now it is time for Margaret to publicly shame herself for not sticking to her TBR. So I ended up reading about half of the books that I was supposed to read, because last month I was supposed to read Resenting the Hero, Long Way Down, The 10,000 Doors of January, The Hero Strikes Back, Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, Sanctuary by Karen Lakes, The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan, Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, at least 1 volume of Ouran High School Host Club by Bisco Hattori, My Hero Academia, and then 2 volumes of Death Note and Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So we finished about half of the books we needed to. I am in the middle of both Ace of Shades and The 10,000 Doors of January, so hopefully, like, I won't be carrying those too far into the month. I obviously need to read all 3 of the manga titles because I didn't read them. And I need to read this Hero Strikes Back. And next month is going to be fun because I don't have a TBR for next month. I just have a whole bunch of books that I want to read, and there's no way I'm going to read all of those in a month. However, I'm really happy that at least that 4 of them came from my physical TBR that you can't see but I'm pointing to. So that means I have more room for more books to put on that physical TBR. That's how this works, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. I make videos 2 to 3 times a week about books and writing, and I would love to see your lovely face here on a regular basis. All of my social media will be down in the description box below. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye! I'm gonna put that one down. It is a post-apocalyptic story. It is about, I don't know what his name is.